This video is a continuation of the 6.3b lesson, Types of Angles, Angle Pairs, and Solving Equations. We left off on number 7. So let's take a look at this one. Angle ACB and angle DCF are vertical angles. So we want to remind ourselves that vertical angles are the ones formed by those two intersecting lines. So I see that point C is in the middle. So I'm going to put A and B on this one. So then D and F can go here. So I'm looking at this angle and this angle. So now that we have our points labeled, we can keep reading. If the measure of angle ACB is 5x, so ACB is 5x, and the measure of DCF, so DCF is 3x plus 20, so 3x plus 20, they're going to ask us to find the missing angles. So we want to remember from our 6.3a lesson that vertical angles are congruent, which means they have the same measure. So we're actually going to set these equal to each other. So 5x is going to equal 3x plus 20. And then we want to gather all our variables on one side. So we're going to add a negative 3x, so practicing those algebra skills. So adding the negative 3x. So that gives me 2x equals 20. And I'm going to multiply each side by the reciprocal. And I get x equals 10. So that answers this first question of what's x. X is 10. And then the measure of angle ACB. So ACB is 5x. So if x is 10, 5 times x is 50. And then it's also asking me for angle DCF. So that's 3x plus 20. So 3 times 10 is 30, plus 20 gives me 50. And is it logical that those two angles are the same measure? Absolutely, because our vertical angles should be congruent. So if we got two different measures, we know that something's kind of fishy there. Now, as I said in the last video, we're actually going to add another question here. We're going to add question 8 because you're going to see some like this on your homework and I don't want it to throw you off. So question 8 says angle ABC and angle XYZ are complementary angles. And you can do this problem just on the back of your page. Now, I want you to notice that the way that these are labeled, angle ABC and angle XYZ, they don't have any letters in common, which means they're not touching. They are going to be completely separate from each other. We're then told that the measure of angle ABC equals 2x plus 1, and the measure of angle XYZ is 4x plus 17. And we're going to be asked to find the angle measures. So the labeling of this one is really going to affect us most when we're drawing our picture. I know I want them to add up to 90 degrees because they're complementary. So I'm not drawing these to scale, but I'm going to do one angle for A, B, C, and then my next angle I'm going to have way over here. They're not going to be touching each other because they don't have any letters in common. So angle X, Y, Z. So from here, I can fill in the missing information. So I know that this is 2x plus 1, and this is 4x plus 17. And I know that these are complementary angles. So right here, remember, complementary angles add up to 90 degrees. So I'm going to say 2x plus 1 plus the 4x plus 17 is going to give me 90. So combining my like terms, 6x plus 18 equals 90. I'm going to add the opposite or the additive inverse. Some of you might subtract, that's okay. And I get 6x equals 72. Then from here, we're going to multiply by our reciprocal. And we get x equals 12. So I know what x is. Now I need to find the measure of angle ABC, which I know is 2x plus 1. So I'm going to go 2 times 12, and then plus 1. That gives me 25 degrees. And then I want to do the same thing for my angle XYZ. So 4x plus 17. So 4 times 12, that gives us 48, plus the 17. So the measure of angle XYZ is going to be 65 degrees. And I'm going to do a quick little mental check. If I add those two up, I get that 90 degrees, which is what I want because they're complementary. All right, you now have everything you need to go tackle that homework.